Hey, Cosmo here, and welcome to Dan Tana's restaurant in West Hollywood, California. You know, I walked in here 20 years ago for a garden salad, and look at me today. 1,000 weekends later, and I gotta tell you, I'm delighted to be part of tonight's celebration. It is the 50th anniversary of Dan Tana's, and today, well, we'll be meeting with the cast and crew of Dan Tana's. Celebrities will be here in abundance, and of course all the locals and the neighborhood regulars have made this place what it really is today. So let's go out back and join what could be the greatest mixer in Los Angeles tonight. Hey, Cosmo here from West Hollywood, California at the historic Dan Tana's restaurant. We're celebrating a 50th anniversary, and I'm delighted that you could join us. We're gonna have celebrities tonight. I figured I'd start with a little vodka soda. There'll be more people to come by. Lots of food, steak, jumbo shrimp, different kinds of carpaccio. So join us for what is sure to be a fun evening. Buckle up if you're watching. Go make yourself a cocktail and join the fun. Wanted you to stop in and just give us some backstory about your early experiences at Dan Tana's.
My first experience is the first day it opened.
The first day it opened?
Exactly. Because I knew Dan when he worked over at La Scala.
He did start
Met him in
La Scala.
1958. So we go back years and years.
So you go back to Dan Tana 6 years before he opened this restaurant.
Correct. 1958. He was a waiter there. He was a maitre d', and I remember the day he opened this restaurant.
What was it like then compared to now?
Oh, it was just a little joint. Nobody even knew, but a lot of big movie stars, celebrities like me.
Yeah, of course.
We would go in.
Now, who were some of the celebrities at that time?
Sinatra, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis. That's about it.
That's what counts. The Rat
Exactly.
Pack in those days, right?
Incredible days.
I used to fly for Air New Zealand.
Air New Zealand.
Yes. I came and I met Dan Tana in the 70s, and we had 3 and 4 day stopovers, and he said, come and visit me in my restaurant. So I have actually been coming here since the 70s.
1970 something, and because Dan invited you.
He did.
Now, how has the restaurant changed since you've been frequenting Dan Tana's?
Not one bit, which is great, because how many places in LA have been here that long that stay the same, and this is the only real bar in all of Los Angeles.
You know, it was one of those things where literally I lived 2 blocks away on North Palm where it almost intersects with Civic Center, if you remember. So that's actually the time when I could literally walk across the street, which, as you know, at Dan Tana's, this is pre-Uber, comes in handy when you don't actually have to drive the car. But it was one of those places where I sat in. I'm from Boston, my cousin and I are from Boston. You sit in this place and you immediately feel like you're home. Everyone's warm and inviting, everyone's welcoming. You get absolutely very pleasant as a result of the exceptional service. And you know, it's just one of those things where it's one of the first or second time in here, they were giving me shots. So it was just one of those things where I was just really glad to be a part of it.
You feel at home, but it's like being at your house. There's plenty of liquor.
It's plenty of liquor, plenty of food, and you know what? Everybody wins. Except here, I actually have a chance of having a woman with me.
By the way, I adopted one of your friends as a relative. Please introduce.
So I will introduce, without question, Cousin Vinny, who is actually the pioneer as far as my family goes. Coming out to Los Angeles, you've been here how many years?
I got here in '89, and you can tell the pioneers by the arrows in their back.
That's right, well, they're walking away.
So 25 years, and you know, I've only been here 12, so he's been here twice the time I have.
And I lived over here right off of Beverly Drive, and I used to walk over, and similar to him, but what really got me about Tana's is you could be sitting there, and you got a rock star here, and even tourists, it's a vibe there that no one's going to pull out an autograph book or anything, and everybody just starts talking to each other. It's just the greatest place. Just come and hang, I would rather eat at the bar sometimes than eat at a table.
Hi, Lisa.
How you doing, Cosmo?
Nice to see you. All right.
to see you.
Now, I met you 20 years ago, and you were already a veteran.
Do you have to mention 20 years?
My bad. But we're celebrating the 50th here, so it's okay.
Yes.
Now tell us about some of your fondest or earliest memories here at Dan Tana's.
Oh my goodness. Well, I can't believe it's been that long. I've been coming here 28 years, actually, when I was a lowly lawyer. But then again, I probably have either represented half of the people working here or some of the people on the menu I worked for. So, it's been an experience, and I think everybody that I'm looking around here, including yourself, is a family member.
I agree. It does become an extended family. I said in another interview, you go to weddings and you go to funerals and you see people grow up and you see their children, right?
Yes.
And so you've always been one of my favorites because it was always you and Annie and Karen, and it was like this pod of like Charlie's Angels over there in the corner. And I've enjoyed my friendship with you. You're an interesting person and a smart girl.
Well, thank you. I appreciate
You don't
that.
find it a lot around
and
here.
there's not a dull moment when you're around because, you always have a great story to tell.
Oh, good.
And you've always been a gentleman, even on those moments when you've discussed your historicals of sorts. Okay.
I try to reel it in.
Yeah, I know you do.
So we'll see you later, in just in hopes that there's a dance floor, right?
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
I'll see you on
Thank
the
you.
dance
Thank
floor.
you.
All right. Cheers.
Dan Tana's is the closest thing to Downey's Steakhouse in New York, which was on 44th and 8th. I was on 44th and 9th. And Downey's Steakhouse was run by the father, Jim Downey Steakhouse, and the two sons, Archie and whatever. And Archie was a great guy. And I was like, I hadn't even opened the Improv yet, but I used to go in there, the big theatrical hangout. And they were always very nice to me. And then when I opened the Improv around the corner,
Which is at Melrose and Crescent
no,
Heights.
this is in New York.
Oh,
Way
that
back,
corner,
way
that corner.
back, way
Okay.
back. So we're open till 5 in the morning because we had no liquor license. And Jim and the boys used to come in with all the English actors. It was the English invasion in the 60s in New York. So we had Albert Finney and the whole cast of Oliver, and it was just wonderful. And of course, and then people like Jason Robart would come in. All come down because they were closed and they come over to the Improv. Anyway, now we have Dan Tana's.
What year did you walk in?
Dan Tana's? I probably walked in here, let's see, before I moved out here. I used to come
Late
out.
60s?
Yeah. I used to come out. I loved LA. I wanted to live here eventually, and I used to come out on any excuse I could. And I would come to Downey. But for good, I became the hangout for my wife and I. She's around there, she is.
Yeah.
I think when we were courting, we came here a lot after work. And that's 34 years ago.
I met you. Maybe I met Denny first, but I don't know if you want to share.
hear about it.
I don't know if you want to share how you two maybe met here, or because I know how I met you, just side by side.
I was at the bar here at Dan Tana's,
Yes.
as I am wont to do, and to my left was this statuesque lady. I said hi, and she went like I was a bug. So the next time I saw her, I said hi, and she goes. This happened 3 times, and I had come to the decision that I would never talk to this woman again. And the next time I came in, I'm saying again, I'm looking straight ahead, not saying a word. And then, what is her name? Karen Banks came over and said, I'm sick and tired of watching you two. Denny, this is Kip. Kip, this is Denny. And Denny said, how do you do?
And now, what's the situation?
I don't remember when I used to live in this neighborhood years ago, 30, 40 years ago.
Yep.
So I could walk here, that made it very convenient and very nice. The food is always great. I've always had the same dish. It's more or less over the years.
What is your favorite dish here?
I love chicken Tana.
That's where I started.
Yeah,
Chicken
really?
tenders, spinach,
Yeah,
garlic.
yeah, the garlic. Now, let me tell you what's happened, though, unfortunately. They cut down on the garlic, and I love garlic. A day without garlic is a day without love, so I love the garlic, So I have to tell them now, give me a little more, hype it up a little.
I'm an old New York girl, and I remember the Palm in New York and some of the old places in New York where they said Sinatra hung out. So when I moved to LA and it was so sterile, I was like, where am I going to find some New York?
Yeah.
Dan Tana's, I walked in, I was like, oh my God.
You saw no windows and a late bar.
And no clocks, no windows. Is it Las Vegas or Sinatra's living room?
I played some cards
I
here.
know.
Every now and
But
then.
we've always had a good time, and what I love about this place and why I'm here celebrating
Yes.
is that this is more than an establishment. It's family, and that's what we've always been. We come in, we see the old faces, we Mike behind the bar, Cosmo, and that's what I don't find that in a lot of places in LA.
It is a draw, right? Because if you're coming back from an assignment or a work job that you're doing, and you're hungry, you can walk in and there's no awkward
my
moments,
God.
right? You'll be embraced.
Well, here's the other thing. You don't find a lot of veal in LA. I don't know if it's because people are very, tender friendly or what it is, but I can't find a great veal parmesan a lot of places. And I find the greatest veal parmesan, the greatest white fish with capers this big with lemon sauce.
Yeah.
I mean the marsala. You know what I'm talking about.
You can't make it at home. That much we know,
I
right?
know.
I agree. Listen, for what it is socially, for what it is from the food and the experiences and everything we've all been a part of, that's a big draw for me. And I've only
And
been
you
coming
are
here
such
20
a good friend of mine, and I wouldn't be a good friend of yours had we not shared so much time at Dan Tana's, and you know
I
that.
agree.
With
It is.
Mike and Christian and the shit. Let me tell you what I love.
Okay.
I can come here and get Clams Casino. Where else do you get Clams Casino?
Not in
Here's
a
the
clam
other
place.
thing. I can talk to the chef at Dan Tana's and say, could I get a little prosciutto
Chef
the
Nino,
mozzarella on top of the veal?
Yes.
Only
Chef Nino listens. He loves his customers.
I love it.
Nino, I've known you 20 years. You've been here 27. I don't think I've ever sat at a table with you before.
Well, this is a special occasion, so yeah.
And ironically, there's no food at the table. Well, we'll get some. You had 1,000 people coming tonight.
So, yeah, actually, this is a milestone for every restaurant. 50 years being a business is a huge thing, and for me especially, after 27 years, see all these people who come here for the years. Now we decide to make a huge party, so give a little bit back to them and say thanks our own way. And tonight we make a huge menu for the people that's coming. We're gonna have some hot items and some cold items. We're gonna have our signature dishes as white fish.
White fish.
We're gonna do the meatballs for sure, chicken parmesan, calamari fritti. We're gonna do pasta. Then we're gonna do from 8 to 11. We're gonna serve lamb chops too.
Lamb chops.
And also New York steak. Another signature dish.
Signature.
Yeah, that's we got a shrimp cocktail, tuna tartare, swordfish carpaccio, grilled vegetables, potato chips, Caesar salad, salmon carpaccio, caprese salad, deviled eggs, shrimp tempura, and a few more things.
This is why I haven't had a meal since Labor Day.
Yeah.
I want to make sure there's room. That's wonderful. Now, some of the celebrities that come into Dan Tana's actually inspired the entrees that you still serve today. Tell us about one of those.
Well, so many people, when they come here, they're regulars and they come for years, they like to have their own touch on the menu, and they ask me, if you can do something, so we also name some of the items on the menu, names of the people who come here for a long time. And one of them is James Woods, that I create a dish for him. He liked veal piccata, but he also liked spinach and cheese. So I told him I'm gonna create something for him. And since then he's ordering all the time, and we call Bill Florentino or James Woods.
I've had it. When I first came in here, I ate nothing but chicken Tana, and then I transitioned to the veal Carl Malden. That's the day I started to like capers. And now I like the seafood linguine, pescatore, frutti di mare. Five kinds of fish, Nino. It's the best deal in town.
Yes, I know. Not too many people know that, but yes, I follow you actually last 20 years, and Yes, and I make your food, and I really appreciate you coming here all the time and eating and loving my food. And that's one of my favorite dishes, by the way, that linguine with pescatore, or, like seafood, or cipino, like seafood stew.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite dishes.
Let me see if I got it right. 5 kinds of fishes: whitefish, shrimp, calamari, clams,
And scallops.
and scallops. That's the 5th. Yeah, it's outstanding. Thank you, and I'll let you go. But before you head out and get rolling here with the evening, we're gonna go back in the kitchen. You make me a little something. Sound okay?
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you. Okay.
Hey, Cosmo, what's up?
I can't wait. I gotta eat. So surprise me. What do we got?
Like pasta?
I love pasta.
So I make your pasta with vodka sauce.
Vodka sauce is good. I thought that you keep the vodka in the other room, don't you?
Yeah, I keep it. I keep some of vodka right here.
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
Must pass the time.
So we're gonna do the olive oil.
Olive oil.
Then I'm gonna do the garlic, a little oregano, a little basil, a little salt, and the pepper. In the meantime, we're gonna put the pasta in hot water. Take the marinara sauce.
Oh yeah. That's how I burned the house down once.
A little bit of cream. There we go.
You guys catching all this? I'll never remember it. Nice, nice.
The last one. There we go.
You make it look easy now.
Pasta is done.
Pasta's finished?
Now I'm gonna serve it.
It smells good. With the temperature back here, I'm really glad I wore the suit.
Better be good. And cut.
Nicely done. We are still broadcasting live from Dan Tana's restaurant in West Hollywood, California. And with me, I've got John D'Amico. Now, we have one thing in common. I have been to Dan Tana's so many times, I'm frequently referred to as the mayor of Dan Tana's, but he is the mayor of the city of West Hollywood. Thank you for being here, John.
Absolutely, wouldn't have missed it. This is a really exciting night for the city, and more importantly for Dan Tana's.
Listen, whatever it took, permitting, your understanding, your empathy, I'm sure you had something to do with the enabling of the production of this event, right?
Well, you know what, believe it or not, this is what West Hollywood does best. We like to get people here, let them have a good time, maybe they get a little drunk, maybe they get a little laid, and then they go home. I mean, that's really what West Hollywood is about, having a good time and enjoying what the city offers.
And driving responsibly, and that's why Uber has been such a big
You gotta
hit.
get home safe, that's the most important thing.
You got it. Now, you've had dinner here before, so you know the vibe. Anything in particular that really is the hook for you here at Dan Tana's?
Well, what I really love is that people are themselves. They come here, they feel at home, they have a good time. I get the sense that I see people acting the way they would act in their own living room, or maybe it's acting out the way they would act out in their own living room.
That's more like
but,
it, yeah.
But it's a lot of good time, and I think that's really great.
It's like being at your own house. You want to yell at your kids, you want to adjust the heat, you want to tell other people to bring it down a little bit. That's what you do here at Dan Tana's. So, I understand. So you're up for re-election soon, and listen, we'll pull for you. We need youth in office because you got to understand why we need parties and things.
Well,
like that.
the very fact that you called me a youth, that, you're now my favorite restaurant in town.
I am grading on a curve. So. Co-captain of the 1960s U.S. gold medal team, NBA All-Star 14 times. We're just asking people who obviously have frequented Dan Tana's for decades what your real draw, what your hook was, and why you became a regular fixture here at Dan Tana's.
It almost seems like you're having dinner at your house. Very comfortable, people were great. If you look around, there's obviously a lot of older people here, but this thing has been a generational thing. Families bring their families here, and because they love it so much, they love the atmosphere, the food is great, they become regulars as they get older too. So it's still a place I come to, love it. Dan was always there for you, and as I say, he's quite a guy, and it's just amazing this place has been open this long.
You have a favorite dish here at Dan Tana's?
Oh my gosh, I have a bunch of them. So I'm a very eclectic eater anyway, so it's pretty simple for me.
Well, listen, we enjoy the fact that your jersey's hanging on the other side of the bar there. Jerry, well, you're a legend. I'm glad you found the basketball is, in fact, your calling.
Yeah,
All right, enjoy yourself tonight. Thanks for taking time.
You know, this is a great celebration of Dan Tana's, and I've got my 50th hat here.
Nice.
I got my 40th hat, so I've been coming here for 25 years, and I'm happy to be here.
Good. Now, what's your hook here? You like hanging out with the people? Your acting buddies?
Yeah, you know, it's just it's a local hang spot. It's like you know the guys behind the bar, Nav and all the boys, and Miguel, and it's just like home. It's your home spot. You come and you're comfortable. You know.
You're here all the time. Give us a backstory.
Well, I came in here with Gene Clark and Joni Mitchell. They were folk singers back in the 60s, great American songwriters. They brought me over to Tana's to sing Mr. Tambourine Man. Believe it or not, you know, I had hair. It was pretty awesome.
All right. I have no reason to doubt you. Now, and you've tended bars, so you know a good bar when you see one. Where did you work around town?
Oh, absolutely, man. I had the front bar at the Troubadour 1976 through 1982, and I worked at the Hollywood Palace up on Vine Street, yeah.
All right, and so you spent plenty of time just sauntering between the world-famous Troubadour and Dan Tana's, and you got to know everybody. What's the hook for you? You like the decor? You like the hours are open?
We're all out here from somewhere else in a way, and it's like a family, and Michael, the bartender, took us all in. We all went to his home, and you know, it's great because it's a place where we come, where we're at home, you know?
Absolutely.
Food is knocked out, right? Or what?
I know you've had everything on the menu, but when you have a go-to dish, what is it? Come on.
Well, I like broiled whitefish with capers and garlic and oil. It's really nice. It's great. It's a fantastic restaurant.
And it's all part of a balanced breakfast, right?
I've been coming here since I was a little girl. Some of my earliest memories are sitting in Dan Tana's as a little kid. So I've always known Dan Tana's. I didn't have to discover it. My dad always said, it's the best Italian food in Los Angeles. And so he really only went to 2 other restaurants other than one of them was a Jewish deli and then his own restaurant at his house that he cooked and here. That was it. So I sort of got introduced to Dan Tana's through the real Italian family of mine. So.
And then late night, you know, the bar's open late. You guys know that, right?
Very late.
I meet you sitting, of course, with Dabney Coleman and Harry Dean Stanton. And you know what, great guys. I know Dabney would have loved to be here, but he moved back to New York.
I just texted him not 2 minutes ago and said it's really not the same without Dabney Coleman here on the 50th. But he had to move to New York. He's busy. He's working. He's got all these projects, but he's so bummed he's not here.
Yeah.
And I've known him since I was a little girl too. And he's been such a dear friend of our families, and I still talk to him like once a week. And he did move to New York, but he's like, I miss Dan Tana's. No, that would be the only reason he would live here.
And by the way, Elaine's at 88th and 2nd, that closed, and so I'm not sure where he's going to go.
I don't know where he's going to go. We were just talking about that. Elaine's, but at least there's Dan Tana's. We know when Dabney arrives in LA, this is the first place he's going to come to now, right?
good friends have met at Dan Tana's. Good food, good friends, and solid relationships. It's awesome. We got Joe, we got Kenny. Do anything for you guys.
Salud.
God
Glad
bless
you're
you.
able to be here.
His family.
Do you have a story?
Well, Dan Tana's is great. No matter how long you've been away, when you come back, you're always welcome like family.
And it is a home away from home. We all love it here. We all pick up exactly where we left off. 2, 5, 10 years down the road. Right? I haven't seen you in 20 years. Look at you.
though, yeah.
Look to see.
I haven't seen him in
Look to
6
see.
months. He walks in the bar and go, you know what? And another thing. So we pick up pretty much
Same
where we
thing,
left
yeah.
off.
Except I mean, this is where we valet our cars. I mean, look at this place.
I had a car stay here once for 4 days. I got a record.
I slept in this parking lot. I mean, I did it in this parking lot. I got arrested in this parking lot. I can't tell you. Forget it. Read the book.
Well, that's the way it goes.
I hate when you take the wrong car home, too. Just get in the car and you drive away. Wait a minute.
I drove your Ferrari home one night.
This isn't my
I'm
car.
sorry.
Hey, a
I
friend of
took
mine,
your Ferrari home.
David Howe, got into a taxi and drove it around the corner for fun. The kind of stuff that goes on. All right, hey, listen.
One of the guys got in a cab and he goes, I want to go to Dan Tana's. And he goes, you're already here.
It's tough to keep track when they got the heavy pour.
18 years ago, I was sitting at the bar in Dan Tana's,
I was right next to Old Joe. You know,
Old Joe.
remember Joe? The Joe.
The Joe.
And I happened to be sitting next to Cosmo. And our friendship was fast and furious right off the bar.
We went skiing. I'm glad you're able to make it, David, because you're a fixture. You're a fixture here, and you're a good egg.
Well, I'd have to say the best thing about Dan Tana is the friendships that have been made here.
No doubt. No doubt.
And you, my best friend.
Thank you. Thank you, David. Have a happy celebration here for Dan Tana's 50th, right here in West Hollywood,
I
California.
want to know more about you.
Oh, I don't know. We got nothing more to say.
When did you become Cosmo?
Right out of the womb. My third birthday, roughly, yeah. Still partying with one of my favorite drinking buddies. The accountant, the CPA, the principal, the kingpin at Arthur Anderson, or at least previously, my buddy Vic. You and I met about a decade ago, right? Just somehow yelling and screaming at a football game?
I think it was here in Dan Tana's, to tell you the truth. Not a football game, but anyway, it was. It was fun.
No, we were watching a football game.
Oh, on TV, yeah.
Here at Dan Tana's, yeah.
That could be it.
That's
could
what
be
I meant.
Okay.
I know, I don't go to football games, and if I do, I can't drink a vodka soda.
Yeah, you're right.
When you walked in here for the first time, first of all, what was your inspiration for walking in? I mean, you found the place.
Well, I had dinner here before with my wife. We were separated. I wanted a place to have dinner late at night on a Sunday, and I came in and met Michael, and it became a neighborhood bar. And I'm from Chicago. We have neighborhood bars, and I love it.
Michael does it, right? I mean, Michael's the guy that does it for you.
He is the inspiration.
What is it about his style that you really appreciate?
He's the best bartender in the world. I mean, I've been around the world, and I think he's the best. Forget it. I mean, I came in here one night with a friend, and Michael looked at her. She hadn't been here in 3 years, and he knew what she drank.
Right.
Now, that is a good bartender.
Yeah.
Phenomenal bartender.
Yeah, he looks at you, rum and coke.
It was red wine, actually. So
red wine.
Fantastic. So it was good.
So, Michael, Dan Tana's is one of the most popular Italian restaurants in Los Angeles, and yet there aren't really any Italians that work here. And how about you make me a drink and explain the heritage?
Well, Dan Tana is Serbian, and they opened the restaurant, Italian restaurant, and one of his first chef was in the 60s, was the personal chef of Benito Mussolini, one of the original chefs. And his first original manager was a Croatian guy, and then Tana is Serbian. And our second chef was from Croatia, Adriatic Coast, Zadar. His name is Mate. Our third chef is from Split, still Adriatic Coast. And our cuisine from Adriatic Coast in Croatia, similar as Italian cuisine. So you got first the Italian chef, the two Croatian, which know the cuisine, and that's why it's Italian. We have very good Italian food.
What are you making me here?
Well, let's see. I'm making you alcohol.
Yeah. So this
and
is
drinking. If you don't like it, go next door.
all right. They sent me here. This is going to help my grade point average, I guess, right? Nicely done. Now you must be excited to be a part of the celebration. 50 years, and you're here 46 of the 50.
47.
47?
46, 47, something like that.
Well, you're counting, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
You looking forward to seeing a lot of familiar faces tonight?
Well, I am. It's going to be 50th anniversary. I know most of the customers. A lot of friends going to come here, family, people, and I'm going to enjoy working. And I hope I make a 50 myself.
Yeah, you may not make it through the night.
I'll make it. It's going to be easy.
It'd be a long night for you, too. Well, I need to personally thank you. I said earlier that I stumbled in here one day. I had something small, and I didn't know about your legacy. And you were very cordial to me, and when I was finished, you put a shot of Slivovitz in front of me, and it changed my life. And I was so impressed, I called the restaurant the next night, and I said, hello, it was Jimmy, and I said, hello, who's working tonight? He said, you mean Michael? I said, that's the guy. Okay, maybe I'll come back. And that was it. That was my hook 20 years ago, but I didn't know that at the time you were a 6-night-a-week person. And so,
in old days, when I was younger, I would have every customer comes to the bar, I would chat with him and make him welcome, make him comfortable. So 99% of the same customer would come back and become a regular customer.
Well, I will say this. I've had many great times here. I met a lot of friends. Most of them now are really like extended family, and I appreciate 20 years of friendship, and it's really meant a lot to me.
Here.
And I spilled that on purpose. Good luck. We'll see you tonight. Cheers.
See you later.
To Mike.
To Michael.
To Michael.
Yeah, of course, to Michael's.
The best.
46 and a half years.
My confessor.
That's a lot of...
All the guys, and it was a really tight family.
That's a lot of liver abuse.
Dan and I met at the Bel Air Country Club. We were playing golf over there, and we became very close friends over the years. Gambled a lot on the course, so we had a love-hate for a while, but Dan's one of my closest friends. And the best dish here is calamari a la Rick Hilton.
The calamari like a la Rick
You know you're his real pal when he names a dish after you.
I know. I know I'm in the circle, but I'm not in the inner circle.
But as you say, I grew up in the hotel business, which involves restaurants.
Yes.
And I think you can count on one hand how many restaurants have survived 50 years, and you look at the loyalty here tonight.
You're right.
It just shows you what a great legacy that Dan's produced here.
It is an extended family. And you and I have a mutual friend, David Howe.
Oh, sure.
Who's a long-standing friend of mine for 20 years. And if I'm not mistaken, your wife lived on Bellagio Terrace as a young girl.
That's
which
correct.
is right beside where he lives in Bel Air, right? Don't they almost share a common wall?
Yeah, right. I think David's house is across the street from where my wife grew up.
Unbelievable. So, you see how easy it is to connect the dots here at Dan Tana's, right?
Well, this is the hangout. People from New York want to come here, people from Europe when they come to LA. Food's consistent, great, colorful group of people. It's got everything going, food, service, and atmosphere as well.
And I got to meet Mr. Tana himself right there. He looked great. I was awesome.
Unbelievable.
The legend. If I see no one else tonight, it's fine.
You're right.
That's it. Why did we come out? We come out for him. And here's the guy to put us together.
Oh, Joey Nichols.
Joey Nichols in the house. Huh? I know him.
It's a video bomb.
The video, video bombing me right now.
That's all right.
But we go.
It's getting late.
It's getting late. But we go back into New York before I even come out here, and then through you, and then bada boom, bada bing, and things happening.
It's the embryonic phase. We knew each other before we knew that we would even be born.
Before we knew, we knew.
Dan is one of the most outstanding individuals I know. He tells a story. It could go on for a long time.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
You know how that is. Anyway, he's just a wonderful guy. Big heart, open, fun. He's made a success. 50 years in the restaurant business doesn't happen. Dan Tana's like a hero to many. He gives back to everyone. He loves people. He loves life. You want to set an example for yourself or your kids, this is what Dan Tana should be.
And now you came in, this is the 50th anniversary, and you showed up in what year?
Dan and I have been friends for 40 years. He's staying in my house this trip. And Dan is so much fun. We play golf together, we gamble together, we fish together, we swim together, we travel together. He couldn't be any more wonderful.
And everybody has said the same thing, in that they could not be happier than the success of this man who's got a great heart and a lot of charisma, right? He's a generous man, and he deserves all the festivities here. We've got 1,000 people here tonight. Can you believe that?
I know that. Let me tell you something about Dan.
Go ahead.
Okay, everyone's giving him all these accolades. Dan, you put him on the golf course. He's never missed a shot that's his fault. He gets up there, he swings, he misses a shot, it's everyone's fault but his. Okay, he yells, he screams.
That's the way I do it. It was the humidity or something. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. You're breathing too hard.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've been waiting for 20 years to be able to say this. I am your host, Cosmo, here at the 50th anniversary of Dan Tana's restaurant, and meet the man, the legacy, the godfather, Mr. Dan Tana himself. Dan,
you gotta have 100 thoughts and emotions running through your mind right now. What are you feeling after this legacy?
Well, I'm so happy to see so many happy people here to celebrate things with us. I can't believe my eyes and I can't believe my ears. I could never believe when I started this 50 years ago that something like this is possible. But I say it's only possible in America. Nowhere in the world is possible. Because nowhere in the world people get together and root for each other within their own country like Americans. And God bless America.
I love it. Now you came here, you're a soccer star.
Yes.
You come here, you come to Michelli's,
yes,
and you get your start. You learn the restaurant business, and somehow you parlay this little yellow house.
Well, I learned when I first came here, and I did odd jobs here and there. I learned really, if I ever open up a restaurant, not to do what they are doing in these other restaurants. I wanted to create not a boss business. I wanted to create a family business. And from the first day I started, my employees and I were partners. They are not working for me. We are all working together. I was getting a little more than them, but I invested more than them. But without them and without me, this would not happen. It was a teamwork. This was the best. This was a World Cup restaurant team, not a soccer team.
There you go. It's a thriller. And you got lucky. I mean, you got a great crew. You got Milienko Gotovac, right? Everybody's favorite bartender.
You know, the puzzles just fell in. One came in, the other brought the other one, and we are like a family. If I had to do it all over again, I couldn't have done it better.
You're right, right?
So that's why I know I was lucky. That's why I only opened up one, because I could never duplicate this. I've been asked to open up the place in London, in Moscow, in Tokyo, in New York, in Philadelphia. I would open up tomorrow, but where I could get clientele like this, where can I get the help like I have? Nowhere in the world.
Hey, listen.
That's why it's going to be only one Dan Tana.
That's right, and let's keep it that way. And congratulations, Dan, on 50 years of success. Your charisma and your generosity is what has sustained you, and I'm just proud to come to your restaurant for so many years and to know you, most importantly.
Continue to drink, because it's not just the radio, we need the drinkers too.
I understand. Thank you, Dan Tana. Fantastic.
Thank you.
So that's the way it goes at Dan Tana's here in West Hollywood, California for the 50th anniversary party. Now, we've had great interviews with locals, regulars, and celebrities, and we do hope to see you next time when we do this broadcast on the 75th anniversary. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Good night. Happy anniversary, Dan Tana.
Cheers, Dan Tana's.
Cheers
to the 50th.
Happy 50th.
All right, thank
Mazel
you.
tov, all that stuff.